Welcome to the Adulting Podcast. I'm Zach Peter, a naturally platinum blonde podcaster, author, and sassy self-improvement addict spewing all those burning questions you're too afraid to ask.
And I'm Abigail Fraher, an unfiltered boss babe, daylighting as a lifestyle guru, stirring the pot on social issues. We're here to help you look cute,
Live well,
work hard,
and stay woke.
Together,
let's conquer adulting. Welcome to Adulting, everybody. I'm Zach Peter.
And I'm Abigail Fraher.
How are ya?
I'm good.
Back in New York.
I'm back in New York. It's stunning out today. It's like 65. I'm not mad about it, but I'm loving your hat.
Okay, listen.
I never see you in a hat.
Listen, I am going to really explore the hat vibe lately. I decided to try something new with my hair, which was like a last minute unexpected thing that me and my colorist were like, let's try something new. And we tried something new, and we're not going to try it again, but we tried it and we're learning to embrace it. I'm going to be embracing a hat vibe for a minute until I feel like confident. And like we were kind of chatting about this earlier of like, I just feel so unhinged on the inside. So on the outside, when little things like your hair or your brows or whatever, like when that feels not confident, like it fucks with you.
It ruins it. Like if you're not in a good state of mind, anything will make you feel like ugly.
Listen, I'm not feeling Lizzo this week. I'm not feeling Lizzo this week. When you're feeling Lizzo, you can play with your hair. But until then, I don't recommend it. But I mean, I feel like it's perfect. But I feel like it's perfect for today's topic of like beauty.
100%. Like, really? Did you plan this, Zach? I feel no.
Yeah, the universe planned it for us.
The universe did. They set us up right.
All right. Well, are we ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
So today's guest, I love because she keeps me looking cute with all her hot tips and her amazing book. She is a skin guru to all the stars, from Gwyneth Paltrow to Kate Bosworth. We even saw her on the Goop Lab on Netflix. So please welcome one of my favorite people, Dr. Nigma Talib.
Hi, Zach. Hi, Abigail.
How are you?
Hi, it's so nice to make your acquaintance, and you pop it in with this pink. I'm loving it. Spring vibes all the way.
Exactly.
All the way.
Love it.
So before we dive in, you do have to espresso yourself, Dr. Nigma. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Perfect. So I'm just going to start the sentence. You're going to finish it for me. Easy peasy.
Oh, dear. Okay.
The first one is, I can't get through my day without
my vitamin C cocktail.
Okay. And are you going to, can you share that with us?
I am. I'm definitely.
Yes. Amazing.
Tell us what's in it.
What's in it?
So I have to start off with this because a lot of people start out with coffee, but I can't drink coffee or caffeine because it makes me too anxious. So this has liposomal vitamin C, which means it's absorbed into the body more easily because your cells are made up of fat. And then it has zinc in it. It has superberry antioxidants, which have a very high ORAC value. ORAC is sort of something that we use to measure antioxidants in foods. And this is like 6,000. So it's like eating barrels and barrels of blueberries without eating barrels and barrels of blueberries.
Okay.
And then phosphatidylcholine, which really helps brain function. So I can't go a day without this. So everybody has their coffee, and this is my, it's my morning and evening drink.
Can I ask you something to piggyback off of that? What are your thoughts on the apple cider vinegar and lemon juice in the morning? Are you pro that, anti that?
I think I think they're very good for people who have issues with their digestion. I mean, the first thing in the morning, think of our body like a car. If you just started your car and took off right away, and it's an older car. I mean, I'm 48, so I'm a 48-year-old car. So if I just switched on the engine and drove off, what's going to happen to the car? So it's like anything else. It warms you up. The apple cider vinegar increases the acidity in the stomach, which then helps your stomach to break down food when you eat later on. So there's different reasons for why people do that. And a lot of people have amazing success with that.
Okay, good. Just wanted to know. Just, we're just, the thoughts are going to fly out today because you're the woman to ask.
Ask me.
I love it. The next one is to stay fit.
To stay fit, I use my Peloton and Pilates.
So you're a Peloton rider. I love
Yes.
And Pilates? Do you do at-home Pilates? How are you doing Pilates?
I do one-on-one classes with somebody outside.
Oh, love that.
So
okay. So you do the reformer Pilates. Have you done hot Pilates ever?
I've never done hot Pilates. Have you?
You need to. Are you? I'm so sorry. You're in LA, right?
I'm in LA.
Oh my God! You need to go to the hot Pilates studio. They don't use reformers. It's all like mat work.
Okay.
I mean, you're old school with the reformer, so this is going to be easy for you. But with the temperature change, like, oh my God, you're going to love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I will definitely.
It's so good. The one I go to is on it's on Sunset, like right by the Soul Cycle on Sunset.
Okay. Yeah.
Over by like
now?
Oh shit. I'm getting spoiled with New York starting to open back up. No, probably not. I think right now they're doing like online, which don't do that. Don't do it until you can actually go with the heat. But I don't want to, you're going to try it online.
We'll do it together.
Otherwise you can just crank up the heat. You can just crank up the heat in your house.
Right. That's what I think I'm going to
do. The next one is I feel sexiest when.
Ooh. I feel sexiest when I've had, I was going to say something really, really naughty, but
do it. We love naughty.
The thing
Hashtag adulting.
Hashtag adulting. I always think the sexy thing is having a great bowel movement and a great pair of heels. You can't go wrong with either, like you're not bloated anymore.
You're not bloated.
You're sexy when your digestion is working optimally. That's,
That preach. That's probably the truest one I've ever heard because your size couldn't even change, but if your digestion's working, you just feel hot as shit. Like it doesn't
You feel hot as and your skin glows.
Yes.
And you're not bloated. And it's, it's a whole thing having a good bowel movement.
Zach, do you concur? Zach loves it.
I love it, and I love bowel movements. They make me feel sexy on the inside too. And I've never thought about that, but like inside out, I might just have to pass a bowel movement so I can get over my hair.
And then the final one is I feel most like a boss when
Ooh, when I'm educating a group of women or a group of people, and they get it and, they feel inspired from some of the, doctora means teacher. So I'm a doctor first and teaching people and giving them that optimal information that they need to take and make it their own. To me, that makes me feel, confident, makes me feel like a boss. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something and what my role is basically of being on this planet.
I mean, that would make sense. You feel like a boss when you're doing what you were sent here to do. I love that.
You're doing your work. You're being the light in the world that we need, Dr. Nigma.
100%.
Okay. Now, so your book came out a few years ago, and in the book you talk about, I call that, they're the 4 faces. I think they're the 4 like fugly faces. They're not my favorite vibe. They're the funky faces. And so it's gluten face, dairy face, wine face, and sugar face. Can you please explain what they are and which of the 4 I currently have?
So
I know I'm like, shit, I don't know. Do we really want to do this right now?
You really want to know? I mean, Zach, it was so bad. I used to call my patients in London when I had my clinic there. I'd say, you have gluten face today. And they'd be like, how did you know, Dr. Nigma? And I'm like, I can see it. So I started creating these 4 faces of aging because I noticed that once you ate these particular foods, you would have a reaction. So we'll start with gluten face. So think of it like, Abigail, and Zach, do you know when you've had a pizza and the next morning you're like puffy and kind of swollen and, even like your mucus is like, you've got mucus in the back of your throat. That's like gluten face and actually dairy face. So that's combined two faces together. But the puffiness is a major hallmark of gluten face. And that is basically when you have gluten, it causes intestinal permeability, which causes leaky gut and causes your immune system to overreact. So that was one of my faces. And then dairy face is too much, cow's milk, cheese, and you get the darkness under the eyes and the puffiness on the eyelids. And kind of like that is because your sinuses are all bunged up, because when you have a lot of dairy, it increases mucus production. So that's dairy face. If you've got the darkness, the swollen eyelids, and even acne. Anyone who has dairy, anyone who has acne, if you give dairy a break for a good 3 months, watch that acne go bye-bye. So really, really good one, if you have acne. The other one is sugar face. And Zach, this is not a sweet face. I might call you sugar face as like a cute gesture, but now we know actually sugar causes skin sagging. So, and it also increases your risk for acne, and, sugar's, I think, one of the worst faces. So sugar face equals skin sagging, if you remember that, and also acne.
I'm not going to forget that now.
Right? And then wine face. Oh gosh. So
my favorite one.
I know. So wine face is, we know alcohol is basically sugar. And so what happens in the gut is it feeds all that bad bacteria along with sugar. So sugar and wine face are pretty much very similar. And it'll cause for fermentation. So you can get those deepened nasolabial folds, redness of the skin, redness on the nose, broken capillaries, and sort of thinning of the skin. And so that's basically wine face. So wine and sugar face, very fast accelerators of aging.
Okay.
See, that's how I know if there was like some hidden, because I don't eat gluten or dairy, but if there was like a hidden little something in something that I ate, I'll wake up the next morning and my eyes will be so swollen and puffy and my face just looks like a balloon.
It's interesting, isn't it?
I hate it. My eyes always get so swollen, and it's probably because it was dairy and it's inflaming my sinuses.
Exactly.
Well, I feel like I had wine face super bad the beginning of COVID, for sure.
Were you doing the pandemic diet?
Oh,
wine at night, coffee in the morning?
No, I was doing wine at 2 p.m.
Wow.
I was like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. That was my phrase for about a month. And I was like, all right, we got to stop this.
So in relation to wine face though, is there like types of wine that we can drink that we should opt for so that we don't get wine face? Because I see that the big trend right now is these healthier wines, organic, bioavailable, low sulfites, low alcohol, no added sugar, no added dyes. Are those options for us to drink if we want to drink wine?
100%. And that's like, I'm really glad you brought that up. So there are some wines that are safer, in terms of to avoid wine face, but just remember, alcohol is a sugar. So if you are experiencing things like acne or, some of the, the redness of the skin, cutting it out initially for a period of time until you fix the gut lining, until you fix the gut microbiome would be something I would suggest. I'm not saying never have these foods or these
moderation.
Yeah, it's 80-20-20 rule, and especially if you're trying to get rid of some of the things that are causing your skin to prematurely age or look a way that you don't want it to look, then, something you can take into consideration where you have full control over your diet.
Is there a specific brand that you recommend for wine? Like that's your go-to?
I like this brand. It's called Avalon. It's Cameron Diaz's and Catherine Power.
From Work Bus. We had her on. Oh, no. I'm thinking, yes, Catherine Power.
Yeah. So they created this wine and they sent me some and it was really good. And it didn't make me feel rubbish the next day.
That's when you know it's a good wine. Yeah. Oh, they have it at
Sprouts.
Oh, they do now, because I was looking, they sent me like a lovely gift package and it was so nice. But then I'm like, well, where can I get this from now? And I looked on wine.com and I couldn't find it. So now we know.
Get it at Sprouts.
Get it there. I mean, there's no Sprouts here. I'm gonna have to figure that out, but.
So can you explain the gut skin connection? Like on the show, we've covered a lot about like the gut brain connection and how you have brain fog and it kind of makes you wonky, but explain the skin connection. Cause I think people think, oh, let me just lather on all of these serums. Let me just put a ton of eye cream, but let me keep eating, you know, McDonald's Monday through Sunday.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely. The gut and the skin are very much connected. And, you know, if you just think of your car, right, as your dashboard is your face, right? So, you know, if something's wrong in the car, the dashboard is going to tell you. So, you know, and that just doesn't just include our face, it's the rest of our body. So if you've got eczema, you've got itching, you've got some skin issues are extremely, you know, confusing and puzzling for practitioners to fix. And it's really all from diet. Now, our diet does dictate what our skin looks like. So what happens is we have 100 trillion bacteria in our gut. And those bacteria control, you know, inflammatory mediators, our different cytokines that cause inflammation or don't cause inflammation. So it's when the bad bugs increase in number or the good bugs turn bad, kind of like a good cop turned corrupt in the gut. And when that happens as a result of poor diet. Number one, in the United States of America, we have one of the worst diets in the world. And, you know, high in sugar, high in, you know, preservatives and, you know, ready-made prepared meals. You know, there's just so much junk in there that our gut bacteria don't feed off of that in a positive way. So they don't make things like butyrates. Butyrates are short chain fatty acids found in the gut. And we need those. Think of butyrate as the fuel to feed your colonic epithelial cells. And our colonic epithelial cells die when we eat bad foods or get damaged. And as a result, we get things like leaky gut. And then when you get leaky gut, you get this autoimmune connection. So that all has a massive impact on your skin. So whether you have acne, whether you have pigmentation issues, whether you have pores, enlarged pores, dry skin, all of that is coming directly from how we assimilate our nutrients in the gut, the bacteria that are there, and the inflammation that it creates.
Wow. So what's a large pore causing one? And how do we fix it?
He's like, I want to know what that is. Well,
Tell me really everything.
Well, you know, we have to look at it as enlarged pores are basically the lack of collagen production that's occurring, you know, in that particular area, and inflammation that's taking place. So what causes inflammation? We know that sugar causes inflammation. We know that, you know, alcohol, wine, dairy, you know, gluten, they all cause inflammation. And it's kind of like one man's poison is different to another man, how we react with it, or rather woman. So if we eat something, you and I both ate the same thing, say you and I decided to take, I don't know, let's just say for fun, you and I decided to take mushrooms at the same time, the same amount, we would metabolize that drug 1,000-fold differently. And we also need to start thinking about food as drug or as medicine, because we're going to metabolize these things completely differently.
You mentioned collagen. Oh, go ahead, Abigail.
No, you're fine. I feel like we don't consider food medicine unless we need it to fix something, rather than considering it medicine whenever we're digesting it. Like, we need to look at it that way all the time, not just when we're trying to fix a skin problem or whatnot.
Well, especially because I think so many people don't even tune into that until they're much older and they have all this chronic disease and all this inflammation and all these autoimmune issues. And then they're like, oh, now I should start eating more greens. And it's like, no, you should have always been eating more greens. But Dr. Nigma, you mentioned collagen, and I know that's such a big craze right now, and everybody's like drinking all the collagen. Are you with the hype? How do we take it? Or what do you suggest in place of it?
That's interesting you said that. So I have been researching collagen for my entire career. So for the past 20 years, and soluble collagen, hydrolyzed collagen and also internally. I played around with a lot of collagen from bovine sources and from marine sources. And all the research and all the anecdotal evidence has been pointing towards marine collagen. So, recently I actually just launched, I need to send it to you guys, my beauty cocktail collagen powder. Because I wanted to create the perfect mix. So taking collagen alone is not going to give you the benefits as though if you were taking it with high antioxidants. So I did that research. And so there is collagen is great, but it's making it work harder is the antioxidants you mix with it and other natural anti-inflammatory products like turmeric, probiotics, branched chain amino acids, electrolytes. All of those work together with the collagen to increase its absorbability and also to increase its actual function.
Interesting. And now can you explain that a little? Where does for the bovine collagen? Cow?
Yeah.
And what? The hooves?
I'm not exactly sure how they.
Okay. Is it bone though? It's like from the bone?
They do. They use the cartilage, the tendons. And for me, the molecule, for the studies that I read, the molecule is too large to enter into where it needs to go. For example, especially for joint pain or muscle pain, especially for anyone, because collagen is also amazing for people who have joint pain or who have chondromalacia patella, have damage to their cartilage. So I find that what works the best is the marine collagen. And we've even seen studies done in the south of France where the marine collagen improved the visibility when they looked at candidates, saw a major reduction in fine lines and wrinkles from using marine collagen.
I have marine collagen. That's what Vani Hari sent us, Abigail.
Yes, it's so good. And it dissolves really easily. I feel like it dissolves easier than bovine collagen.
And if you're using a good collagen, you're probably using this form called Nadocol. That is the top. It is the creme de la creme. It's the most expensive because you have different pyramid levels of collagen, marine collagen. So if you want to buy the top level, it's called Nadocol, and it dissolves so well in water. And that's what's in the beauty cocktail collagen powder.
I'm going to have to get that and try that. That sounds
I'll send it to you.
Mixed with.
It's mixed with electrolytes, turmeric, lucuma, amla. I've put probiotics in there as well. So it's a real meal deal. It's a huge sachet. So you have to put it in a lot of water. I put a little touch of stevia in there, but it can taste a bit sweet for people if you're just putting it a whole package in a small glass. So I recommend putting it in a lot of water.
Okay. Zach, I have my jug.
That's perfect.
Abigail has her jug and I have mine.
And yes.
What's in there, Zach?
I know. Is it wine?
Coffee.
Is it vodka? We'll never know. Oh,
it's coffee
today? Okay.
Today, it's always coffee when we're taping the show.
Yeah.
Because we tape at like 10 in the morning. You're ahead of me, but in LA, it's still before noon.
It is.
So can you tell us your beauty routine? Because I think we see everybody posting about their beauty routine or their sponsored beauty routines on Instagram, but we never get to dive into the doctor's routine.
Right.
So, for me, I wake up in the morning and I'll do a little meditation because my instinct is to go to my emails and see what's happening because I also work a lot with my manufacturers in Europe, and I have patients in Europe and different parts of the world. So my instinct is go to my phone. So now I've stopped that, and I do a little Kirtan Kriya meditation for 12 minutes. And that really helps sort of calm my nervous system when I wake up, because in the morning we want our cortisol levels to be high, but we don't want them to be overly through the roof. So I'll do a little meditation. I'll take my dog for a walk in the park, and I'll come back and then have my vitamin C cocktail. And then I'll also cleanse my skin with my cleanser that I created that has salicylic acid, glycolic, hyaluronic, zeolites from volcanic ash. And I'll really wash my face thoroughly. I'll put my serum on, my cream, and my sunscreen. And that's my my beauty routine there. I'll fast until about 12 or 1. And then I'll have maybe poached salmon with avocado, with quinoa or brown rice. Right now I'm getting a vegan Indian delivery service that I love. So I've been doing that, and I'll just switch it up every now and then, depending on what I'm in the mood for.
So you jump between vegetarian lifestyle and eating chicken and fish.
Absolutely.
I feel like I do that because I get grossed out. Every once in a while I'll be like, oh, I can't eat any more fish or chicken. And I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, it throws you off if you're changing it. But I like that you change that up just depending on what you're feeling with.
I think it's really important to change.
Respect
I think variety is the spice of life. I think sticking to the same things over and over again is not good. And staying on animal proteins all the time is also not good.
Sure.
I don't recommend people go all vegan without consulting your practitioner, because with that comes a lot of nutrient deficiencies, and one of the big ones is vitamin D deficiency. So that's something that we can't afford to be low in right now. So yeah, I like to switch it up. I don't like to stick with the same thing over and over again. And it's interesting what you said, Abigail, that you get grossed out. That's your body saying it's too much.
Stop. Right. Good. That makes me feel better about that. I always thought that was weird. Or I'll have eggs for breakfast, and then I'll have vegetarian the rest of the day, or I don't know. But good. Intuition, right, Zach?
Intuition.
Listen to your intuition.
You mentioned that you drink your vitamin C in the morning on an empty stomach. Now, I heard, according to the Google sphere, that you should, when you're taking vitamin C, you should eat something with it because then your body absorbs it better. True or false?
True, but not this. This is liposomal. So it goes in regardless.
It's a different kind. Yes.
It's a different kind. Did you know that, Zach, about when you take any regular vitamin C, you only absorb 20% of it?
I read that about it's most supplements, correct?
I wouldn't say
is it just vitamin C? Okay.
Every vitamin has a different absorbance. But this is 80 to 90% absorbed because it's liposomal. Now, people might get, an upset stomach if you take zinc on an empty stomach. This has zinc in it. I've never had an upset stomach, but you don't have to take it on an empty stomach. It's just something that, I like to do I just find it to feel clean and fresh, and it wakes me up with phosphatidylcholine in there. So yeah, you could take it with food or without food, but because of the liposomal content, it gets fully absorbed, about 80%. And Zach and Abigail, did you guys know that we don't make our own vitamin C? So dogs make their own vitamin C.
I didn't know
certain animals make their own vitamin C, and it's only us, guinea pigs, and bats that don't make our own vitamin C, and some fish.
Interesting.
FYI, just in case you wanted to know.
Oh, I didn't know I wanted to know, but I wanted to know.
But now you know.
Now I know.
Is there what do you do for enhanced beauty? Are you a fan of lasers? What are your favorite facials? Have you ever gotten Botox, filler? Give us the skinny on your enhanced beauty routine.
Yeah. I mean, I love IPL and peels. And I use various peels, IPL, radio frequency, LED, microcurrent. So I have a clinic in my house, and I have all the machines. I've got the latest IPL from Israel, which is amazing. You have to really know what you're doing with darker skin tones. So you have to be very careful. I do a lot of microneedling with PRP, platelet-rich plasma.
My favorite thing ever.
It's amazing. I do that at least, 3 to 4 times a year. And either, a colleague of mine will come and do it for me. I mean, I literally draw my own blood. I spin it, and then I don't even numb my face sometimes, and I just needle my whole face. I know I'm nuts, but that's what you have to do when you don't want to do other things, I don't want to inject my face with crap.
Right.
But I'm not opposed to Botox. I think Botox is actually, and I have done baby Botox before, and I do find it's great, and to do maybe once every 1 to 2 years, and filler, not a big fan of filler, because I've seen people get filler, particularly under the eyes with, the hollowing, and it just causes more lymph. It's very hard. It's very hard to do good filler, basically.
You need to have someone that knows what they're doing, and then they can make you look flawless.
Even then, it depends how you drain lymphatically. So if you're very lymphy, where your lymph doesn't move very well, you should not get filler, because that filler will be displaced in your face and you'll look funny.
Are you a fan of like the jade rollers and the gua sha?
Mm-hmm. Anything that moves lymph is great. So it's just about moving lymph. Like you said, when you have dairy, you get all this puffiness, use the gua sha to get rid of the dairy face, for example.
Okay, so how soon can we get rid of dairy face? Like if I wake up the next morning and I'm puffy and I'm like, I have to tape the show, because I've had times where I'm like trying to use the jade roller and it's just not doing anything.
You need ice. You need ice, baby. So
bag of peas, Zachary.
Yeah, it really is the best, because it's inflammation. So it's putting out the fire. Ice is great. And in my book, Zach, I've got an amazing, it's called Icing Beauty. I've got an amazing recipe in my book that you can actually make these pre-made ice cubes, freeze them. And then when you do have a day where you have to tape and film and you've got dairy face, gluten face, wine face, or sugar face, you can take the ice cubes out and you can apply them. And they do a really good job.
Okay,
it's
I'm
all
gonna have
about
to try
being
that.
Prepared, for anything that could happen.
I like it. I like it a lot. Are there any new innovative treatments that, because you're the skin guru to the stars, that you're doing to help them get a little extra glow in their skin?
Well, I mean, I think the key is keeping them healthy from the inside, and whatever you're doing on the inside, it's educating them that what you're doing on the inside is causing the outside to react. Ingestible beauty is a big one. Is people think skincare is enough, and it really isn't. You need ingestible beauty. Like, for example, doing a vitamin C, every day, and a collagen every day, and vitamin A, C, E, zinc, selenium, iodine. Those are super important for your hair, skin, and your nails. That cannot happen through like a skincare routine or getting a laser. So my big focus is starting from the inside and working my way out. And whatever I do on the outside works 10 times better and quicker once the inside is taken care of. The other secret of mine is my prebiotic face mask that is biocellulose. And really, when you're managing to change the skin microbiome here, that is what actually helps your skin look and feel younger. Because inflammation is what ages your skin at the end of the day. So if you keep that intact, then everything else will follow.
And is it the inflammation? Is it because it's stretching your skin and then your skin is constantly like blown up and then shrinking back to its
100.
form.
You know what? I'm glad that you brought that up because it is exactly what's happening. And that's part of it. And also the hyperpigmentation of the skin is what's happening. When you're getting inflammation, you're stimulating those melanocytes. People that have more melanocytes than, say, a Caucasian person are going to end up with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And that ages somebody. It's not just fine lines and wrinkles that make people look old. It's, the uneven skin tone. So yes, absolutely that too, with stretching and, stretching the skin is one of the big aspects of inflammation.
And then you lose collagen production and you're not replenishing
and then your
it.
life's a mess.
Starts to sag. I know. And then you're wearing a hat to tape the show.
And then you're
I think it looks great.
Thank you.
Right, Zach? You look great, kid. What is my biggest, I guess, pet peeve would be when you have celebrities that come out with skincare lines and J-Lo, and they are not honest about everything that goes into it. Do I think that she uses her line every day? No. Do I think she uses it? Sure. But to sell like a face mask for $7 and tell people that the results of it are your lifted skin, like something that would be a little bit more aggressive, like an alt therapy or PDO threads or PRF injection, and not telling the public that you're doing that and saying it's just your skincare. I mean, like how do people navigate that? How do they know what's real, what's not? You just said, topically is not the end all be all. Do you think that people should have to be honest about everything, or what's your like outlook on that?
I think, Abigail, you brought up something that is incredibly important. And, I really think this is important for people to have transparency around, what they're advertising and what they're giving out, because, you're a role model to millions of your followers, or, if you have a high following, it's important that, you give, like I said, doctora means teacher. My job is to teach my patient how to get the optimal results from the inside out. And yes, it is a superficial thing about, yes, we want to look better, but you're going to feel better too. So my biggest thing is working from the inside and working my way out. And I do think it's important for the transparency to be there, because there is no way that skincare alone is going to make your skin flawless. It is not possible.
Especially not for $7.
Listen, I'm not trying to be a hater, but and I think there's so many ways to around the question at hand. The Kardashians have never had they've never had whatever in their butt, but that doesn't mean they haven't had injections. That doesn't mean they haven't had, like, maybe they're not having a full transplant, but there are so many other things I think that the public's not aware of, that they're not lying, but they're not.
Yeah, like Kim Kardashian doesn't have an implant, but that doesn't mean she's not doing like body sculpting to make sure the fat in her thighs and her cellulite is pushed up to fit the mold of her butt. Yeah, or transfer. Right. So there are a lot of like those hidden.
But like, how can people? How can like the general public? Are there any tips you have on navigating like what's bullshit and what's not, or what what could the average person who maybe doesn't have all the extra knowledge of everything in skincare do?
Well, if it's too good to be true, then it's BS.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it's pretty obvious. Like, nothing is going to transform your skin by slapping something on your face. It will make it feel better, and it will brighten the skin, tighten and lift, ever so slightly. But then there's that, you have to retrain your muscles. You've got to retrain these muscles. And that's why gua sha and lifting and treatments and ingestible beauty, super important. Ingestible beauty to me, like working from the inside, from what I've seen clinically for the last 20 years, has been the most promising.
Okay. So spend more money on your supplements than necessarily on your topical skincare if you had to make a
topicals
choice.
You can get you can get away with just a basic hyaluronic acid. That's it. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg. You can get away, then you can splurge on a face mask that's like researched and has, marine collagen in it. And so you can really design your beauty routine in a way where you're working from the inside, because working from the inside, you're going to help your hormones. Hormonal inflammation is the biggest risk for premature aging, like, let alone feeling crappy. So, I'm 48, so perimenopausal. I've seen changes in my muscles, my skin. But what I find that I keep on top of is my nutritional supplements, and I do them right in the right amounts. And I notice a huge difference. If I don't do my nutritional supplements and I just do skincare, there's no way that my skin would be glowing and I wouldn't be feeling optimal. So if I were to personally choose, I would choose ingestional supplements 100% all the way, starting and food and diet. Of course.
That's what I was gonna say. That's a big thing.
You can't just take supplements.
That doesn't mean McDonald's and then take your supplements.
That's a big thing that Dr. Will Cole is always talking about, is like, you can't supplement your way out of a bad diet. So if you're eating a bunch of crap, the supplements aren't going to they're not going to work at their optimal.
No.
And the other thing too, is it's like, I feel like we do very specific episodes, which I love, but about doing, skincare and gut health and mental health. But it's like, all of the basics are still true. Eat healthy, cut the crap, take your supplements, and then you're going to have shiny hair. You're going to have bright skin. You're going to feel better. Your body's going to look better. Like, it just kind of all falls into place. Whereas I think so many people want like the quick fix. They want just like the J-Lo magic serum that's going to give them the J-Lo glow. It's like, I want to look 21. I want to look forever 21, but I also want to feel forever 21 as long as I possibly can, Dr. Nigma.
That is so true. And on that same note, sadly, we can't get all our nutrients from our food.
Right.
Even if you are eating like kick-ass diet, you know what I mean? Like, you're doing your very best, you're not going to get all your vitamins and minerals and amino acids from your diet alone. So that's the sad part of it.
You heard it here.
All right. So we have to eat right. We have to get some good skincare to put on topically, but we don't have to invest like thousands of dollars. No. But we also don't want to be spending $7, but we can find some good products that we can put on topically. Supplements, food, and then, I mean, is workout a big part of like keeping your skin healthy too? The sweating?
Sure. I think, exercise increases something called growth hormone, and growth hormone is what helps us keep and look and feel youthful and encourage our own hormones to work optimally. So we know that just 20 minutes of exercise a day can encourage that growth hormone activity. So exercise is actually anti-aging. And then the sweating part is really, really important, because how else do we get rid of toxins in our body? We pee it out, we poo it out, and we sweat it out. Okay. So if, we're sweating, that's actually a really good thing. And it just makes our adrenal glands also feel optimal. And we know our adrenal glands support about 30% of hormone production. And quite often when somebody's really stressed out, working out actually helps recalibrate their cortisol levels. So again, working out is super anti-aging, and it's something, even going for like a 20-minute walk around your block, doing like 20 minutes of a walk.
And you feel better. Even with something that small, like leaving the gym, you feel so good and like awake, and it's just great.
Yeah. And if you can't, none of us can really go to the gym right now. So anything.
Well, but yeah, doing any type of exercise. Exactly.
Like doing anything. If you have if you don't need to even have a Peloton at home. You can just walk out in nature and, get your heart rate up and do like a really brisk walk, about 20 minutes a day.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Dr. Nigma, where can people follow you to learn more about your supplement line, your book, or if they're, just trying to squeeze into your very long and impressive patient list?
You're so cute, Zach. Well, they can go to healthydoc.com, or they can follow me on Instagram, Dr. Nigma Talib. And ask me any questions, DM me if you have any other questions. Again, just remember to look from within, eating healthy, taking your supplements, meditation. Also, I want to end with that. Meditation is your best medication.
I love it. Yes, it is. I meditate. Well, I tried to meditate this morning and I cried instead, but it was still cathartic.
Hey,
and it was very peaceful.
Oh.
But thank you so much, Dr. Nigma. You guys can follow me at Just Plain Zack if you want to keep up with my hair journey.
I definitely
will be checking that page out. And then you guys can follow me at Abigail_AF.
And don't forget to follow at the Adulting Podcast for all of our latest show news, checking keeping up with our guests, getting exclusive clips from the show. Follow at the Adulting Podcast, theadultingpodcast.com to find out everywhere we're available. We're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on Pandora, we're on Roku. So if you have a Roku device, make sure you subscribe to us right now and leave us 5-star reviews.
Zach's hat.
5-star reviews. Yes, you can see it. All right, guys. Until next time, we'll be
#adulting.